how I disappeared in the river for 8 hours straight without even knowing that I've disappeared.
This girl went to the river for a quick swim and somehow disappeared for 8 hours without a trace. What she says happened during that time is something you have to hear to believe. Let's get straight to it.
Now, this happened many, many moons ago where I was with my cousin and we went for a swim in a local river. So we grew up in an area where there is a river, and that river there is a part where there's a waterfall. A beautiful, beautiful place. There's even a name for it, which I'm not going to mention. So while I was with my cousin, we met up with our friends and we decided to go for a swim. Now, we grow up being told not to go to the river and not to swim. But anyway, we do it. We go, we were kids. We really didn't know the dangers except that they said we could drown. So we went anyway. In any case, the water wasn't that deep. It wasn't that deep. It was probably up to our waist. So we got there, took off our clothes, started playing. It was fun. We found other kids there. We were having so much fun there. And while we were there having a bliss, this woman came with a basket and she was wearing all white and she had very beautiful, beautiful hair. And this woman, we could not see her feet, but the way her dress was so long, it was beautiful. And she started washing clothes there. And she kept looking at us. She kept looking at us to the point where, because I really admire beautiful people, I admire beautiful women, I went up to her and I told her how beautiful she was. And she said I was pretty too. And which obviously at that time I felt so good to hear that coming from her. And I asked her where she was from or where she lived because I'd never seen her before in our village. And she told me that she lives around. She lives around the place. So she didn't specifically say where, but she told me that she's always there at the river. So if I wanted to see her, I would find her there. And I was like, okay. After me and my friends swimming, I then decided to go and tell her that I was leaving and that I would be back some other time. I just don't know when. Then she said to me, you should come back, tomorrow. And she gave me a specific time in the afternoon. She said, come around then and I will have something nice for you. So I was so excited that I was like, yeah, I'll come back. I'll definitely come and see you. Then I left with my cousin, with her friends, and I told them about her, what she had said. So we both left, but my cousin and my friends, they were not really interested in this woman and they never saw her face because every time she faced the direction of the waterfall and she was doing her laundry at that time. So then we got home and no one even noticed that we were swimming because by the time we got home we were already dry, honey. The following day I then decided I was gonna go again. So I asked my cousin to go with me and I left with her and we found other kids. And while we were there, we were playing. My cousin is someone who likes people, so she gets along with everyone. She makes friends very easy. I don't make friends easily, so for me it's kind of difficult. I'm not a mean person. I'm a very nice person, but I don't easily make friends. So I then saw the woman again, but this time she was not doing any laundry. She was just sitting. And I went to her and I was like, hi, you said I should come. I came. And she said, okay, I want to show you something. And I was like, yeah, why did you get me? You know? And she said, well, let's go. I want to show you. And I was like, where are we going? And she said, no, just here. It's just here in the water. And I was like, oh, okay, so it's not far. She was like, yeah, just here. And she held my hand. And I remember I felt myself moving inside like something like a tunnel. I felt my body slipping where I could not control, and she held my hand so tight. And I could feel her hand slipping, but slipping as in like her skin was not as normal skin. It was more slippery, almost like plastic. Then we got to a place where now I was now seeing like sort of like caves in the water, and I don't know what they call this. They call them, or they're called ponds. Yeah. So there were like this round ponds in there, and we were now inside like a cave. So we are not in the water. There are parts where there's water, but we are not in the water. And this woman now, remember when I was seeing her and we were together there by the river, she looked very young. She was very young and beautiful. And now all of a sudden, she looked different. She looked different, like in a way that her skin was now pale. She looked a bit scary, like gray, and her teeth were sharp. They were not the same. I could see it's the same person, but it was not her. Like in a way, the way she was different. She didn't look the same, but I could see it's the same person. And while we were there, she said, I want to show you my home because you're such a nice person and you belong in this world with us. And that's the moment where I realized that I was in a place that I don't know. And that's when I realized that, you know, this person is not what I thought she is. But in any case, I didn't feel any danger. I felt safe because of the way she was talking to me. And I felt safe because even the place, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. It was so beautiful that I don't think I even understood where we were. I just thought, okay, this is another part. But I was still confused and puzzled about how we got there, why I had to slip into like a tunnel, which you can say it's like a vortex. So when we were there, she was like, look, you're gonna have to follow me. When I move to one part to another, you follow me and you do what I do. Then that's when I noticed that she didn't have legs. She didn't have legs. Okay. I don't want to say what she had, but she didn't have legs there, down there. Then I continued the journey with her. She assured me that I was okay and that I would be okay. But I just continued with her anyway because honestly, I didn't feel bad. I didn't feel scared. I was just puzzled and amazed at the same time because of how beautiful that place was. When we eventually got out of the cave, we got out into a dry land, a beautiful, beautiful land where we saw people, but people that were very different. Others were like extremely tall, others were like extremely short, others were very beautiful, and others were very just strange looking, and they had very different futures that I cannot even explain or describe. So while we were there, She was just showing me around, and she had said to me, look, if you ever want to come and you want to live here with us, you can come. But he said, I want to introduce you to someone, and this is someone. How I disappeared in the river for 8 hours without knowing. This is not my story. This is for entertainment purposes. So please don't take it personal. This is just for entertainment. And I'm just sharing a story that I was told by a patient. So she asked me to tell the story as if it's mine, but it's not my story. So she had said that I was going to meet someone. She wanted me to meet someone. So this someone I met is a woman, a very beautiful woman, very different features, same as the rest that I've seen. But now it looked like we were now in this room that looked like a dome inside the water. It was a very beautiful room. And this woman we met, she told me so many things about who I am and where I came from, which is where I discovered that then I am a star seed. And she explained to me everything that I needed to know, which I cannot share. So then she said, we have a meeting that we need to go to. And they said that actually it was intentional that I went to the river and I met this woman. So it was bound to happen because they wanted to see me. So eventually we go to a meeting. This meeting, it's a beautiful structure. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. There's like a long rock table. And across the table, I see a lot of women. And a lot of those women looked different. Others very light, others very dark. I saw different like hair colors, different structures, different images. Everyone looked so different in and the manner they looked so different. I could say that I could not help but stare because I'm one of those people who like to stare. So I just had to stare because everything to me was unique. But it felt safe. It felt like a very safe place for me to be. Then in this meeting, I fell asleep. I dozed off. That's the last thing I remember there. Then I woke up being on the side of the river. And when I woke up there were other people who were coming by. And when I saw these people, I was just fine, but I was wondering where my cousin was because I came with her. And this experience took literally 10, 15 minutes. It wasn't for long. It was that short, really. Even traveling for me to get to that place, it was a matter of seconds. I could say 5, 10 seconds because I can't even explain what was in the tunnel. I just felt myself falling inside like a tunnel hole. Like I started to look for my cousin and yeah, I couldn't find her. Then I decided to go home. And on my way home, I came across the girls. And those girls that I came across, they were the same kids that I was with the other day. And the same day. And these girls, they told me that I disappeared. So my cousin left, and went home without me. I went home. Mind you, me and my cousin, we live in the same house and we live with our parents because our mothers are siblings. So we get home, and when we get home, my family was just about to come and they asked me where I was, which I explained. And they had said that had I not came back, they would have called for help. So my family says they waited for me for like 8 hours and I wasn't back. And they then went home, but they kind of knew that I was going to come back because I come from a family that is spiritually gifted. a lot of people in my family are so gifted that some of them, they have disappeared before and came back. So this was nothing new, but of course it was scary for them. And it was scary for my cousin. Till this day, my cousin is traumatized. She never ever wants us to go to the river or the sea or anywhere else because she thinks that I will disappear again. So when they asked me what I saw, I struggled to piece together what I saw. Then they eventually said, "No, it's fine. You'll tell us one day when you are ready." I don't know why. I had a lot to share. I was excited about telling the story, but words could not come together. It was as if something was done to me to not be able to tell the story. Okay. So, um, this is a story that I'm telling that was told to me. It is not my story. So I try to tell it as mine so that I can connect with you, the listeners. So thank you for watching. If any one of you has a story that you would like to share, then you are more than welcome to. Bye.
What would you do if you disappeared for 8 hours and came back with a story no one could believe? Would you tell it or keep it a secret? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more strange and unbelievable stories just like this one. I will see you in the next one.